who's like someone that you think that right now is like being a big influence maybe on sports
Hmm. Well,
worldwide?
recently, like Messi kind of like became one of the most like
Iconic.
goated, yeah, football players of all time because like he's officially won every single major tournament, like that's important and like multiple times, you know.
Right.
So yeah, like him winning the World Cup
He
was
would have
just like
won.
sealing the deal, man. Which it is a really big deal, man. And props to him for doing it, man. He definitely
Yeah, dude.
it was deserved, man. I mean, he won like
And
the
dude,
Copa Americana like a couple
he
like
won a World
year or
Cup
two
being
years ago.
old, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it
Almost
was his last
retired.
one. It was his last one, bro. If he didn't win it, it just wasn't meant to be, man. But like he proved that it was, man. This was his time.
That's crazy.
Oh
Because
yeah,
if you think about it, supposedly for males, his age is peak.
yeah, yeah. He's like what? He's 33, 34.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like peak male body.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like from then on. That's when the decline started. But like, you don't have the same energy as like the young kids anymore, man.
Right. Right. Yeah, man.
Mhm. Like, yeah, man. That's
But you
crazy.
can have
Dude,
focused energy.
yeah, man. But it's crazy how when we're talking about like sports, like you're really you're really like most valuable when you're like in your like early 20s
Yeah.
into like as soon as you kind of hit your 30s, like your career has kind of been set in stone already, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're really only, yeah, dude, like your value is very much dependent on like how early your age is, man, how early you develop, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, like for example, I had a lot of teammates that started playing when they were like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, started playing American football at that
Yeah.
age, so they knew the game back and
Mm-hmm.
forth. You know, I never played or watched American football ever in my life until I got in the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fighting is another
What I mean,
major thing.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's like fighting is another sport that has been developed throughout every single culture and has always been present, like throughout history. You know, like
Yeah,
human
man.
beings, we have always fought. You
Always,
know,
yeah.
yeah, always. We've
They've
always fought.
always
Yeah.
trained. Always, always,
Mm-hmm.
always, always,
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
always. And until not too long ago, it was like required by
Mm.
societies all
Mm.
around the world for at least young men to
Mm.
know how to fight. I mean, like
Yep.
for example, like in the Israeli army that you have to serve if you're Israeli.
Yeah, yeah, everybody has to serve, man.
Everyone knows Krav Maga,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you're, I don't know how it is on like other Asian countries. I don't know how it is in China or in Japan if you have to do it, but they must learn some sort of like martial art when they're in the army, you know?
I would assume so, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I have
and
no
probably
idea.
in schools, maybe they teach it in some schools, maybe in some regions of each country, maybe when there's more money, students in schools are maybe required in some private school to know some martial art and as a PE, you know?
Mm.
At least some basics.
Shit, man. I don't know, man. I
Sorry,
don't know
bro.
about that. I know. Yeah, that's all good. I don't know about that anymore, man. But yeah, it's kind of trivia. You know. It's cool,
Yeah.
man. It's cool to see like how like each and every culture has their own style of fighting, man. And it's been developed because of like whatever happened like historically over there, man.
Right.
Like you look at like capoeira, for example, and you see like it was developed by the slaves, and like the only thing they had was like the razor blades and like sharp piece of glasses, you know. And like the longest piece of reach was like your legs, so that's why like it's mostly kind of like a kicking kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, dude. I've always wanted to
Yeah,
ask you
man, it's
about it, but
fucking
I always
cool.
forget, man.
What?
Like, uh, is that a thing that you see commonly, like in our generation or younger
What?
in Brazil, capoeira?
I mean, it's more common like in beach kind of areas and cities.
Okay.
Also, I'd say like in the up in like in the north, like in the northwest kind of, in the northeast kind of area. It's probably like more common for sure.
Okay.
But I'd say like the sport that's more like that's like more like I guess organized and more commonly practiced would be like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and actually and like judo, bro.
Okay, okay.
Because yeah, actually, yeah, like speaking of, you were speaking about like being like mandated to do it. Like I do remember like when I was in Brazil, like in primary school, like one of the electives was like judo that we had to do it. Like we had to practice as kids, you know.
Hmm.
And
That's
like
cool.
I remember like yeah, I don't remember anything from that class, but I do remember learning how to fall, bro. Like that was the first time I
Okay,
was taught how to like fall and not like injure myself, and
right.
that was kind of like
In my
I don't
school, you
know,
could do
it was.
wrestling
Hmm.
as an elect. No, that was a team.
Hmm.
You could do wrestling. That was it. In strength training, we did wrestling though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then linemen in football, American football, we did wrestling too.
Oh, that's cool.
And we did separate section training.
Hmm.
Sometimes we did some wrestling. Half of the linemen were wrestlers. Off season,
Hmm.
they would do wrestling.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I actually did it for one season. I didn't like it that much though.
Mm. Not for
Uh,
you. Mm.
yeah, I'd rather like box or do some like more standing fight.
Man.
Cause like for like I know I have the strength and I've been there before.
Hmm.
I've fought with some people that do like floor fighting, you know, like locks and everything.
Hmm.
Uh, and they've never been able to like get me on a lock because I'm too big and strong.
Hmm.
So like in that sense, like I'm like strong enough to be explosive to get out of it quickly before they get me in it, you know.
Alright. Yeah.
And and in that sense, like I can do that. But other than that, uh like I would love to have some training on like standing, like boxing, not kickboxing, just boxing, dude. I would love boxing, dude. That
Mm.
would be so fucking cool.
Shit, that's cool. I mean, dude, honestly, like martial arts and just like fighting in general is something that like I like to watch. It's fun to watch, but
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of like to practice, bro. To be honest,
Oh,
like
I
I
would
don't
love
know,
to.
man.
Maybe I have some like part
I'm
of
not
me
really
that
down for.
likes that
I feel you, man.
violent part of, because that's why I
Yeah.
did football too. You know,
Mm,
it's like a contact sport. You
mm.
know,
I get you. I mean, that's what I loved about like I get it, man. Like I mean, like contact sports are fun, bro. Just like I don't know. No, just not a big fan of like I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
fighting overall, bro. Just never got into it.
yeah.
Mm.
I do personally though have that like need of release
Dude, no, for
of
sure, man. But
anger
like for me, like
specifically
you see,
for
man, for me,
myself. You know,
dude, I get you, man. For me, but for me, like it's much more satisfying in the sense that of like hockey, for example, and that's what like drew me to hockey to begin with, dude. Like the way that like you read through like the physical interaction is like I like it's much more satisfying
yeah,
when you win that like shoulder to shoulder, or when you get that hit and you fucking like smack that person like and you make him sit down.
right,
Like I feel like that's much more satisfying than like landing a direct strike. You know.
right, right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of like the way that my ego kind of works. You know, for me,
No, I feel
especially
that.
like growing up playing football, man. Like that's what I loved about like playing in defense, dude. Like just being able to like put my hand on him and just like sit down. You know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that shit is fucking dope. That's how I did as a lineman too, man.
Yeah.
The need to like either remove someone out of the way, and like when they're sometimes they have teams where the linemen are just small, bro,
Mm.
and you just like remove someone.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like as if it was like a
dude.
imagine imagine you see like a big vase for like plants or whatever, you
Mm.
know, like old decoration vase, and it looks heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go pick it up and you find out it's fake,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like
And
really light.
like it almost like flies out of
Right,
your hand
right.
type shit.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
happened to me as a lineman, dude. To have to like tackle, like not tackle, you kind of like get them out of the way in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the position you're playing, you know.
Right, right.
But like, or push him or whatever. But some kids are like that, dude, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Like for example, we had a center lineman that was really small.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it didn't really matter because like the rest of us were fucking giants.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, he was the smallest. I was the second smallest.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a huge jump from him to me, and then like there was a huge jump from me to the next one, and then so on, dude. Like
oh shit,
yeah.
okay.
Like
that's crazy. Yeah, man, okay.
we were big as fuck, dude.
Mhm.
We were all like probably around like 90 kilos, 90, 100. There were definitely some of the biggest one were like 115, 120.
Damn,
Yeah,
bro, that's fucking massive.
And we
bro.
were 16,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. Like
We
at
were
that
16
age,
years old, 16, 17, bro.
it's fucking crazy, dude. Like it's like if you don't, especially like when you're not like taught what you're doing, man, you can seriously like injure yourself and permanently damage your body, bro. Like it's crazy. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Like it's when you're not taught about like nutrition, about like proper training and resting, dude. Like that shit is important, dude.
But you know one thing I realized though, and with my team is that all that Gatorade shit and stuff, it's bullshit. Like we in training and practice, which is the hardest part of the sporting part, you know. Literally, that's when they drain us. We puke and everything, and it doesn't fucking matter. You go puke in the trash can and you go back. No resting until everyone rests. And if you dare to fucking rest, everyone pays, including you. You know, like
damn. Okay,
yeah, bro, it's fucking harsh. And because you have to be tough in this sport. You have to, otherwise you're gonna be crying your ass out every time. I remember I played rugby in middle school in Chile. In gym class. Yeah. There was this fucking classmate that every fucking rugby class we had, he cried out of the fucking class. Like every fucking, and it's like,
what,
well,
like from getting hit or
yeah, bro, getting tackled or something or whatever, dude. And it's like, I was like, bro, that's how it fucking works. So like, yeah, man, like,